Hey, I'm Jason Chapman, and I run a music store with my brothers, John and Jeremy.
People are always asking, what is it like to be in a family business? Well, I've been in a band with my family for the last 28 years.
And if that wasn't enough, we recently opened a music shop. Since opening the shop, we found that the people that come through the door are just about as unique as the instruments they carry.
And now, since they gave us a TV show,
we leave the cameras running, and there's always something going on at the shop.
Hey, welcome back
to the music shop.
Hey, welcome back. Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back to the music shop. How many times have we?
Welcome back to another episode of the Ozark Music Shop. Welcome back to another episode of the Ozark Music Shop. My name, once again, is Jeremy. This is my youngest brother, Jason. And John over here. John,
that's
right?
me.
Okay,
it's me.
My older brother, John. And we're back for another episode.
Jason.
He's got a name badge. Actually, his mom still writes him on his tag. My address is... Anyway, this episode, what are we featuring on this episode?
Us.
Yep.
The Chapmans. It is entirely the Chapmans episode from start to finish. We have us playing music in this episode. We talk about our... Talk about our kids in this episode, raising our kids at the shop.
Yeah, we have some footage of having... We got a couple of our kids at the shop, and they had a diaper malfunction, and we get to show you what we have to put up with raising kids in the shop.
Sometimes having your kid at the store stinks.
That's true.
there's also a segment this week of Shoppe-Talk where we talk about string changes. Very important question that
Probably
a lot of people ask about.
Our most asked question, I would say.
It is. So we talk
How
about
often
it.
should you change your strings?
You should change them every single day.
And that's Shoppe-Talk. Thank you.
I like that.
We also brought back an old. We had a quasi TV show.
Kind of a
before,
TV show.
It was more of a webcast show before we had this TV show called Chap-TV, and we resurrect that for this episode.
Yes, Chap-TV, it was kind of our creative outlet when we were touring all the time on the road.
You do something with your hair?
Change your shirt?
No, it's a sweater. Cardigan, I believe, I think.
Anyway,
I forgot to button the top. That's what it was.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the episode.
1, 2, 3. Must have been love from way up above that
The best part of owning your own business and working with your family is the fact that you can work with your family.
I'm the boss.
I'm the boss.
I know you are. You think so.
I'm not sure, but I don't think they can fire me for bringing my kid to work. This is the way the day starts in here.
Oh my God. It's all down his leg. We knew that we were also going to just be laid back about it. It wasn't going to be one of these things where we can't have the kids in here and we got to be super strict.
Poo everywhere. And then there's a second one.
We wanted this to be a family vibe, a family-run business.
And the store smells like the poo.
Did you poop? Jalen? My wipes.
And they've all kind of just grown up here at the music store.
My firstborn, she was about 1 month old that I started taking her in here. I was working the shop by myself with her strapped on my shoulders.
My youngest was here from the very, very beginning. We used to bring him in. He used to spend every day with me in here at the music store for the afternoons.
It's been challenging at times because, especially now that they're toddlers, they want to run around and strum every instrument in the store. And that's led to a few scratch and dent sales, but we wouldn't trade it for anything because it's great to be able to still be a part of them, their lives, and running the business at the same time.
Three, two, one.
This all started with a passion. Music has been a part of our lives for as long as I can remember.
Our goal from the start was to have an outlet where we could feel that passion in others.
At the Acoustic Shop, this is not just what we do, it's who we are.
So, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Chapmans that are just kind of coming into our world through the new TV show, we originally had a bit of a TV show of our own called Chap-TV. It wasn't necessarily on a network. It was not necessarily watched by anyone. What we had decided to do when we were touring on the road was we'd film everything because we were bored and we had cameras. We'd film things and created some funny stuff, some not so funny stuff. Depending on how adolescent you are, it's pretty funny. In the eyes of my father, Bill Chapman, It's stupid.
This is stupid.
But since we started the new TV show, we've found that we've had a lot of requests for Chap-TV. Are you gonna review those episodes? And our original answer was no. But the masses have spoken, and we're gonna show it to you, whether you like it or not. Here it is, Chap-TV.
Will it break? Will it break? Won't you tell me, oh, will it break? Will it break?
Alright, this is another episode of Will It Break? And today we're playing for B. We're going to do the E string to a B note. Do you think it'll break?
Yes.
I agree, I think it's going to break. What do you think?
We are all in agreement. We will break a string.
Will it break? B. E to B.
I'm gonna go with no.
You're the only one.
I think I'm gonna go with no.
It's stopped. It's not moving.
It's unwinding. Keep going, it's going.
You're higher.
No. It broke.
Ladies and gentlemen, you were wrong.
This concludes the Silver City special edition of Will It Break?
If you're looking for an acoustic instrument, the Acoustic Shop is the place you want to go. The Acoustic Shop, we've been open about 4 years now and have been nominated Top 100 Dealer at NAMM Show for 2 years now.
At the Acoustic Shop, we mainly focus on acoustic music instruments and the accessories that go with them. Guitars, mandolins, banjos, basses, and accessories and the lessons and repairs that go along with those. It's something that we've been passionate about for the last 28 years of our lives, playing in a family band growing up. Then we opened a all-acoustic music store in Missouri to help fill the needs of people that are more focused on just that niche of the genre.
With us having all those years on the road, it's really helped us to find the right instrument for the right person. When somebody calls us or comes into the shop, we can actually talk to them and know exactly what kind of instrument would be the best fit for them. And I think that's just something that we bring that a lot of people can't.
Started out teaching lessons before we even opened the shop, so that is something that has been a passion of ours for the last 15 years.
I believe we've said this is where the pros teach, and I truly believe this is where the pros teach.
At the Acoustic Shop, this isn't just what we do, this is who we are.
So if you're wanting to learn how to play the banjo, the fiddle, the mandolin, guitar, the Acoustic Shop's the place for you. Hey folks, this is John, and we are back for another episode of Shoppe-Talk. On this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about stringing and restringing your guitar. So when do we change our strings on our guitar? Well, that's a kind of a variable answer that we get just about every day here at the shop. And it does matter. It's one of those things that a lot of people overlook. Strings do deteriorate. They get worse the more they're played for multiple reasons. One, metal fatigues. Number two, you're going to get some of the dead skin cells, oils, and dirt that kind of build up, and they're going to affect the string's performance. So it is always a good idea to change those strings. Different strings are going to last longer than others, but on average, we kind of recommend telling people anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, upwards of 2 months is pretty standard to change strings on. Everybody's going to get a little bit different, and I get a lot of people that'll say, yeah, but I never play my strings. The same thing's going to happen. If you're not playing your guitar, that metal still is going to be affected by humidity, stuff in the air, dirt, all that kind of stuff is going to build up on them, so it is going to affect its quality. When strings get old, they don't have the same bright character, and they actually start to lose their tuning. They won't hold as well because the tensile strength is not going to be as strong on those. Now, I've got a whole bunch of different strings here that I kind of grabbed, just to kind of show an assortment of different ones. A basic string like this is made of a phosphor bronze. Now, it has a core wire that is steel and then is wound on top of it with phosphor bronze, giving it a character. Another one that I like a lot are these strings right here. Again, phosphor bronze. This one has a different core wire. There's so many different variables in that that you can kind of get. But the big difference there is going to be in string gauges. Beginners might want to start with an extra light or maybe a light. And then there's a medium gauge. If you're a heavy player, hard player, you want to lean on a medium gauge. If you're a lighter finger picker or you like bending strings a little bit more and like the comfort of it, a light gauge might be perfect for you. Then we have stuff that's kind of hit the market recently that's kind of changed a lot of the game for a lot of people, and that's coated strings. Coated strings are going to be very similar to a standard string, except they now have a coating on them to help protect them against those things that we talked about. Water and moisture, and well, water and moisture, the same thing, but dirt and oils and those kind of things are not going to be able to get to that material as easily, so they tend to last about twice as long, and there's quite a few examples of those. Newer materials like nickel bronze have been coming out, different formulas of metal to give you a different tone in the same gauges. Again, once you find a gauge that you really like, it's then kind of fun to experiment with different alloys of metals and see what really fits your guitar. Different guitars will have a different kind of tone for different types of strings. Another one that we see a lot of are nylon strings. Now, there are a lot more strings now that are easier to play and more comfortable to play in lighter gauges on steel, where I know many years ago a lot of people would say when you start out you want to start with a nylon gauge string, or a nylon string, sorry, because they're softer. If you have a nylon string guitar, great idea to use nylon strings because it does give it a different type of tone. I don't necessarily think it is an important thing for you to have to always start with nylon strings, even on a steel string guitar. That can be definitely set up with different strings and different setups. But like I said, on average, plan on changing your strings every 2 months or so, a little longer if you've got a coated string. But it is a great idea to make sure that your guitar is in tip-top shape and sounds as good as it does. Once you change those strings, if they've been on there for a long time, you'll recognize it makes a big difference. So make sure to do that, and thanks for watching Shoppe-Talk.
Song
So that was another episode of the Ozark Music Shop, guys.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I know we didn't have any special guests on the show, but I had fun kind of reliving some of those.
I feel like you're pretty special.
I figured it out. She's got new glasses.
Nope, same ones. No.
Anyway,
Yeah, it was a good episode.
something feels weird.
No, it's fine, guys. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channels. We have a YouTube channel for the Ozark Music Shop where we will post previous episodes 2 days after they air. For those of you who missed it or are not in our viewing area, we want to include you too. So please subscribe to the channel. You'll be the first to know when
It's
we
like
air those.
instantaneous. We push upload, publish, and then you get a blip that says, "Hey, there is new content on
Check it out.
the Ozark Music Shop YouTube page."
We want to thank all of you guys who are watching it on television. We appreciate every
You're actually
one
more
of you
important
guys.
than those other people.
Don't say
You
that.
can't do that. Anyway, we will see you guys next week. Closed captioning and other considerations provided by